Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new series where I look at games on my goddamn Steam list, which is honestly kind of ridiculously long. I have 358 games, I think it is. 358 games owned, 681 DLC, which is kind of crazy that I own more DLC than games, but I guess like 5 DLC for most games that get DLC. Like, most games that get DLC get at least 2 or 3. So, that's fair. I get to go through this list. A lot of these games I've bought on Humble Bundle for like $1. Back when I was an asshole that just bought the dollar games. Of course, I actually pay usually the full amount now. Most Humble Bundles now I buy because I want to buy them. I actually got Vegas 15 in a Humble Bundle with a bunch of other editing stuff for like $25. This is like a $700 program. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'll pay the full price for the bundle and get everything for this, and donate it to charity, of course, as well as like strategy bundles and other bundles that there's games in it that I really want, but there's always games in it that I don't want. So this list is a mishmash of the best fucking games out there and the bottom of the barrel trash garbage that is the worst thing in the world. And I am very sorry that we're starting off with one of those kind of games that are generally terrible. Absconding Zatwor, very difficult to pronounce title, is what we're starting with today. Now you might be asking, Justin, why is this video like not edited and like planned out and seems like you're talking mostly off the top of your head about this game and stuff? Well, that's because I actually am. And because I refuse to put more effort into the video than the developers put into the game. So, a little bit of information regarding this game, Zatwor. I'm just going to call it Zatwor because Absconding just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to fuck up that name a lot. So a couple things you should know. First thing is, this game was developed by a company called Zonatron Productions. Now, Zonatron Productions is in the same vein as these asset flipping companies, most famous made by Jim Sterling and his homicidal, what are they called? Digital Homicide? That was it. These guys, they get assets, they make shitty games, and they throw a million of them onto Steam. So, this game actually is not available on Steam anymore. It's still in my library, and if you had it in your library, you can still play it, but you can no longer purchase it. So, Steam is still allowing you to play it. In fact, the Steam Community Board is still up, although, you know, its last post was for the full set of cards for this game on the 10th of May, and before that, it was June of 2018, so... You know, super popular game, guys. Super popular. And this game actually was a part of a trilogy, apparently. So there was Absconding Zatwor, Break into Zatwor, and Fiends of Imprisonment. So, yeah. They apparently put all 3 of those games into one package, so you could buy them all at once. From what I can see, they're basically the same game, just different skins, really. But anyway, they're shit. They're absolute shit. And Zonatron Productions had released onto Steam before they were removed 152 games. Now, that's what was released onto Steam. They existed on Steam before they were taken down. So, how many more they had in Greenlight and stuff, who the fuck knows? And a lot of these are, like, shitty sequels to each other. Like, they have Flipper Hazard 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like they stopped at 5, but they started up something new, like Edges 2, Edges 3, Sphere Toss 1 through 4, Runs, or Runzy, 1, 2, I think 3. They had a game called Staplers, which went up to 4. Shapes, which went up to 8. Also, Shapes was spelled in all caps, and there's no space between the final S in shapes and the number that it was, associated with. So, yeah, none of these games currently on Steam. Absolute shit. Now let's talk about the game itself briefly, so I can get this fucking over with. So we can actually do some good fucking games. This game is essentially a prison break. It's literally a prison break. You're top down, walking through this prison as you try to break out. Now, there's an intro and a story to this about how you were at a gas station. The gas station attendant was shot and murdered. The story is very riveting. And you were the only one there when the cops showed up, so they arrested you and put you in prison. So, instead of just letting the justice system do its thing and show that you weren't at the scene at all, besides just being in the wrong place at the wrong time because there's no fucking DNA evidence or anything, they couldn't hold you for more than 48 hours because they'd have literally no evidence. So, even if you somehow managed to actually do it, they couldn't prove it. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's so fucking stupid. But anyway, you're in this prison, and you have to escape the prison. There are cameras. There are these noise detecting machines. You can hide behind boxes, apparently. And it's just very monotonous because it's a very small room where you have to get to the other side of the room without getting caught. Now, I mean, in theory, there are games that do this super, super well, like trying to break out of prison and stuff. It's a fun concept, right? Like, if we just search breaking out of prison games, you're going to get A Way Out, of course. It's the main one. There is a Flash game called Escaping the Prison, which actually isn't too bad. Breakout Jail in 8 Days, which is an App Store game, which is actually pretty fun. Prison Escape, which is another pretty famous game, which is on Steam, but I do believe it is a Flash game. But it's pretty good. Like, there's lots of prison break games that are also really, really good. So don't know where that all went wrong. But it's extremely monotonous. There's 50 levels. There is a skip level button. There is no explanation of controls or anything. So if you go into the menu, you won't see like a back button in the top corner. You have to hit escape. And if you can't figure that out, you're just stuck on the menu screen, although any idiot will eventually press escape. But I digress. Still should be something. There's also not very many settings. There's like volume, reset. That's about it. Yeah. It's very poorly designed. It's extremely boring and monotonous because the levels, they're the same room every single time. There's very little variation. The traps aren't very inspired. When you get caught, it just goes red screen and then you go back, which is fine. But there's no satisfaction. It's just very monotonous and very, very boring to a point where you just want to shoot yourself in the face. You'd rather just go on death row in this prison than to stay one more second and trying to escape. I'd rather be killed for a crime I didn't fucking commit than play this game anymore. It's a form of torture, is what it is. And if I had to play this in prison, I would tell them just to off me right then and there, because fuck that. It's an awful, awful game. And it's a damn good thing. You cannot fucking buy this anymore. And same with all of Zonatron's games. They're not on Steam. If you search up Zonatron on Google and stuff, you can find a couple of their games like on itch.io and some other websites that have uploaded their games. But none of the main sites have it. You can't buy it on GOG. You can't buy it on like the Epic Games Store. I don't know why you would ever want to buy it there. The Steam Store, of course, doesn't have it. And as far as I'm aware, you can't even find it on any the free Flash websites linked somewhere else. And as far as I can tell, too, they don't have a website. So as far as I can tell, they're dead. They're dead in the water. Nobody's playing their shit. Nobody's buying their shit anymore. They must have gone defunct at some point. But yeah, if you ever see Zonatron come up, don't bother buying any of their shit. It's all terrible. All the reviews and stuff and all the comments on their Steam community page, even from the beginning of time, when these games were still buyable and the developer was commenting and somewhat involved, not really, but somewhat involved, It's all trading cards and free keys that are being thrown out by people that are getting it on fuck knows where. But anyway, it's just really lame. I don't recommend it. That's really all I have to say. Play a better game. Just stay away from this one. Yeah. Thanks so much for watching. And we'll look at a better game hopefully next time. I'm not really sure what I want to look at next, but I definitely want to look at something good and do a much better video. I'm doing it in somewhat alphabetical order, which is why this game is first, because AB. So I'm not too sure which one I'm going to be looking at next. I do have my stuff organized, so I have to kind of figure out where everything is. I think Ace of Spades would be next. I think. No, 8-Bit Armies would be next. Technically, 8-Bit Armies should have been first. And 7 Days to Die. But we're doing Absconding Zatwor first, because I just want to get it the fuck out of the way. Just fuck this game, fuck this developer, and that's all I have to say about this. I'm gonna go and drink. Thank y'all for watching and stuff. I really appreciate it. And if you want to click some of the links that are around to watch some of my other stuff, that would be cool. If you want to subscribe, that'd be cool too. We're gonna go through 357 more games, and hopefully they'll be better than this one, and better videos than this one. Games that I like and games that I really want to talk about, of course, are going to have considerably longer and more thought out videos. So if you want to see more, and you hate Zonatron games and these fucking asset flippers, why don't you let them know and just fuck them by leaving a like. Okay, thanks. Bye.